So for an extra minute, you make about 11,000 more, depending on how many points you have in rich. If you don't put points in rich, then you make about 10,000 more on this touring car race here. And I'm 30 levels lower than the recommended. And what the car I use is the Saline S7R. Air intake and shifty. Mix that up with pure and forensic. For frenetic. Frenetic. Um, you can throw extra pump in there, but there was another but air intake is a big thing. Um, to get ahead early and to maintain your lead, you use frenetic and pure. But the slipstream ones are definitely shifty and air intake, frenetic and pure are the two things you want on your parts, because the slipstream will not drag bump. The slipstream will get you past them. Frenetic and pure will keep you ahead of them. Drag bump, if you can't get anything, any of the others, drag bump is a good alternative. Especially once you slipstream past the cars, it'll increase your speed when you're ahead of that front car. You want ESP up all the way on the touring races, because it's just like any other old like classic car race on a track. You have a specific line that you want to follow, so ESP actually, that's what that does. The reason why everybody else like keeps it off for other races is because you don't have that specific line, like that perfect line to hit like you do in a track race. And this is the other settings I have for my saline that seem to work. Now I have no clue if there's any better settings, but this is what works for the saline for me for this touring race. And like I said, I'm 30 levels lower than what the recommended is for this race, and it's 32,000 for the race in 4 minutes, and you only get like 20 something thousand, 22,000 on Harlem West for roughly 3 minute race. So you get an extra 10,000 for 1 minute, and whatever else extra you put in for your points on for rich. But by default, it's 31,500 for a 4 minute and 14 second race that I consistently hit around 4 minute and 14 second mark. So that's 9,500 more than Harlem West for an extra minute. So this is potentially, if I'm not mistaken, this is potentially a better money maker than what Harlem West is. And it's good too. I am lower, so it takes the majority of maybe the first 1 to 1.5 laps to get ahead. But once I get ahead of the front car, I'm usually winning. And you got like 5 laps, so you have enough laps to do it.
3, 2, 1.
You don't want to slipstream into the oncoming turn. You want to get there before the turn. And do this. That was the best case scenario. Catching that last car after out of the turn. Use that last car for your final slipstream. And any chance you get. See, now I'm pulling ahead, pulling away from the front of the. Any chance that you get on the straight section of the track, you wanna nos. Use that frenetic and that air intake to your advantage. And doing this is how I can get ahead and win a race that I'm 30 levels lower than the recommended. I just so happened to luckily come into picking this car, and this car has done wonders, and I'm not even maxed out on parts yet. That's another thing this race helps with, is getting your parts. See, I'm about half a length of the track, or maybe a quarter of the length of the track ahead of these guys at 30 levels lower than recommended for my car. Yeah, about a quarter. Then you can maintain this distance pretty much as long as you nos out of every turn into the next section. You should be good. You should be golden, pony boy. Oh shit. I did not even see his car. And if you're doing this for money, I highly recommend putting any and all points that you have into comfort, I believe, into rich. If you're doing it for loot, put it in lucky. Yeah, if you're doing it for money, definitely put all your points into rich. And it's roughly about a minute longer than Harlem West, but you get, with the amount of points that I have at my level, at my icon level, I get about 11,000 more for an extra minute of race time. And this track is way easier than way easier than Harlem.